loves, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we'll be comparing Samsung's official anti-glare screen protector with a super cheap hydrogel screen protector from SHEIN plus another affordable one from a brand called SHEIN. So I've been seeing so many comments on TikTok saying they're basically the same, so I spend more. So to make this comparison as fair as possible, I have three different phones here. So on this dummy Samsung S26, I'm using the SHEIN screen protector. So this one costs about 99 SEK or Swedish kroner. And on my iPhone Air, I applied a hydrogel screen protector from SHEIN, and that one was only 16 SEK. So before we continue, I just wanted to do a quick little shout out to my own brand, Case Haven. So if you're looking for a phone case that's both protective and cute, or if you'd like to personalize one with your own photos, then feel free to check it out. I'll be leaving all of the necessary links in the description box down below. So now for Samsung's official anti-glare screen protector, it retails here in Sweden for around 349 Swedish kroner. So as you can see, there's really a pretty big difference when it comes to the price. For our first comparison, let's see how each screen protector handles reflections. And right away, you can see that the Samsung's anti-glare screen protector does the best job out of the three. So the two hydrogel screen protectors are much more reflective. You can clearly see the lights and everything around the screen. So if you're using your phone outdoors or under direct sunlight, those reflections can make the display a lot harder to see. And that's exactly why I love using an anti-glare screen protector, because it makes such a huge difference, especially if you're outside. And as a content creator, this is honestly one of the biggest reasons I always choose Samsung's anti-glare screen protector, because it helps reduce reflections when I'm filming, so my viewers can actually see what's on my screen instead of seeing my lights or the camera reflected back. Next, let's talk about the fingerprints, because no matter what screen protector you use, even tempered glass, fingerprints are pretty much unavoidable. So with this Samsung anti-glare screen protector, yes, it still picks up some fingerprints, but not nearly as much as the other two. And even after typing for a while or resting my hand on the screen, it still looks fairly clean. And the best part is that the fingerprints are so easy to wipe away. Like a simple microfiber cloth is enough to make the screen look clean again. You don't even need a screen cleaner. Now moving on to the hydrogel screen protector from SHEIN. This one is definitely my least favorite. I mean, when it comes to fingerprints, this really attracts smudges almost instantly. And even after wiping the screen, you can still see some marks. So no, this is really something I wouldn't recommend, and it never really looks so completely clean even after I wipe the screen. And now we have the SHEIN screen protector, and it's very similar to the one from SHEIN. It still attracts fingerprints quite easily, but the good thing is that even if it really attracts fingerprints so easily, this is a lot easier to clean. Like the smudges come off much faster, and I'd say it performs slightly better than the SHEIN one, but it's still nowhere near Samsung's anti-glare screen protector. So now let's compare how much of the screen each screen protector actually covers. So let's start off with the Samsung one. I'd say it covers for about 95% of the display. It goes almost edge to edge, but it does leave the front camera uncovered. Personally, I don't mind that at all, but I know some of you might prefer having the camera covered as well. So next is the hydrogel screen protector from SHEIN, and this one also covers almost the entire display, including the edges. So it's very similar to Samsung in terms of coverage, but if you're talking about the best coverage, I'd say I will give the point to the SHEIN screen protector, because it covers the entire front of the phone, including the camera as well. So once it's applied, you can barely tell that there's even a screen protector on the display. I also tried some of the Case Haven cases on this one, and I didn't have any lifting issues at all. So now it's time for the scratch test. First, I'll be using my fingernails before we move on to the keys. And it might not look like I'm scratching on the screen that hard on camera, but trust me, I really was trying my best to scratch it and give the screen protector a fair test. So I was scratching it this way because I think it's obvious that there are a lot of girlies out there who's using this phone with a very long nails. And honestly, I'm so shocked because there's really nothing on the screen after I wiped it. There's no single scratch at all. But with this hydrogel screen protector from Shein, this one scratched much more easily. Like even with just my fingernails, it already started showing visible marks, and they're not even super deep, but it's very obvious. So, it's just 16 secs. I think I should not expect too much from this one. So lastly, we have the Sign screen protector, and it also picked up a few light hairline scratches, but overall it held up a little better than the one from Shein. So now it's time for the real scratch test using a key. So I picked this one because this is quite sharp, so I really wanted to see how durable each screen protector is. And with the Samsung's anti-glare screen protector, it did pick up a few scratches after the test. They're definitely visible, but honestly, they weren't nearly as bad as I expected considering how hard I was scratching. And let's be honest, most people aren't intentionally rubbing their phone against the key like this. The more realistic situation is having your phone in the same pocket or bag as your keys, so this test is definitely more extreme than everyday use. And as you can see, they're like visible marks, but they're not as bad as how it should be, considering how I was really pressing the key against the screen. Now, when it comes to the hydrogel screen protector from SHEIN and Sign, this is where the difference became really obvious. Like after using the key, both of them had much deeper and more noticeable scratches that stayed on the screen. So they were much easier to see compared to Samsung's. So now let's remove the screen protector so you can actually see and hear the difference between them. So by the way, this one is just a dummy phone. That's why the hydrogel is really sticking too much. But on the real phone, it isn't really as sticky as this one. So with the anti-glare screen protector, you can probably hear that it's made from a completely different material. It's a bit hard to explain, but it feels more like a hard film protector and more premium. It definitely doesn't feel like a regular hydrogel screen protector, and personally, I prefer this type of material than the hydrogel one. So for both the Shein and the Sign screen protector, since they're hydrogel screen protectors, they have a kind of similar quality. So these protectors, just by flipping it around, you can already hear that they are really different from the Samsung one. It's much softer, it's stretchier, and has a really sticky, rubbery feel. Plus, they both have smell, kind of plastic smell, which the Samsung screen protector doesn't. So I've tried to really stretch them, tried to break them, tried to really tear them apart, but I just couldn't. It only gets stretchier and stretchier. So that's it for today's comparison. After testing all three, I can really say that Samsung's anti-glare screen protector is definitely worth it. It performs much better than the cheaper hydrogel screen protectors, especially when it comes to reflections, fingerprints, and overall durability. So if you're like me and prefer plastic screen protectors over tempered glass, I'd honestly recommend getting Samsung's official one. You get two screen protectors in the box and the quality really speaks for itself. So thank you so much guys for watching, and I hope to see you all on my next one. Bye!